So you're telling me that you really recommend the S.H.Figuarts Dragon Ball line because of their nice aesthetics and paint job, right? Uh-huh. So you're telling me that you really recommend the S.H.Figuarts line because they have some really cool characters, right? Uh-huh. So you're telling me that you really recommend the S.H.Figuarts line because they're known for their articulation, right? Uh-huh. Wait a minute, what is this? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel DC Can Toys, where I do reviews and share my thoughts on some of my favorite toy releases. Today we'll be looking at the newly released S.H.Figuarts Burter and Guldo. Let's check out the box and get the unboxing started. Here we have Burter unboxed. So let's go over the background of S.H.Figuarts first. Simple style heroic action figures and arts, more commonly known as S.H.Figuarts, is a popular line of high quality collectible figures made by Tamashii Nations, a specialized division within Bandai. The toy line is targeted towards adult fans with its higher price and show accurate detailing. As for our character Burter, he is from Dragon Ball Z series, and he's also known as the Blue Hurricane, the fastest member of the Ginyu Force. He often performs combo attacks with jests such as Purple Comet. He is very arrogant, boastful, and tends to talk down to his opponents. Now let's move on to the aesthetics and paint job of the figure. Before we do that though, an interesting fact, just like all the other Ginyu Force members, Burter's name is based on a dairy product, and over here he is based on butter, of course. He is the tallest member of the Ginyu Force, and we definitely see that in the form of S.H.Figuarts, as the box itself plus the figure is quite big compared to many other Dragon Ball S.H.Figuarts. As for his skin color, it is a purplish bluish skin color, with red irises, pupilless eyes, and many small spots on his body. Here's a closer look. In terms of his eyes, it is accurate with the red eye coloring, and we also have the yellow for his forehead all the way back. And as mentioned before, the very interesting texture that we see on Burter's skin is represented as well, with these 3D looking like dots to represent his skin. In addition, he wears a black variant of the usual uniform that most Frieza's army wears, but due to being a member of the Ginyu Force, he has a small logo located on one of his battle armor chest plates. Here's a closer look, like an upside down A. While the armor itself for the most part looks similar to all the other Ginyu Force, something interesting that I noticed is for his shoulder pads, it looks like the longest shoulder pads out of all the Ginyu members so far. As we move down to the lower body, we have his suit painted in the plain black color, as well as the typical Frieza army boots with the white color and the brown at the toes. He doesn't have any skirt armor, so in terms of articulation, I'm sure he'll have great articulation at the bottom half. Here's a quick back view of Burter. In terms of the black color, we do have a separation for the chest armor black and the black on the pants. The pants black is more of a matte black, while the chest armor black in the front back, plus the wrist armor black, is all done in this shiny black metallic color. Next up, let's check out the Guldo figure included in this S.H.Figuarts. The nice thing about this packaging is that we do have two members of the Ginyu Force. Sadly though, Guldo over here, unlike Burter, has no real articulation. Although his head does move, which I can show you guys later in the articulation segment, for the most part, he is just a small statue to display. For the background of Guldo, similar to Burter over here, is also named after a dairy product. If you guys didn't know, he is based on yogurt. In terms of the paint job and aesthetics though, Guldo definitely looks like how he looks like in the anime and the manga. He is a small figure, very dangerous, has 4 eyes, and looks froggish, which this S.H.Figuarts definitely represented pretty well. He is the weakest of the Ginyu Force, but he makes it up with his ability to time freeze by holding his breath. Although he doesn't have any articulation, I have to say the textures on the face does look good. He have that similar 3D spotted skin texture for his head, and we also see that he has his 4 eyes nicely done on the head sculpt. Sadly though, we don't have any type of faceplate or extra head for him, so the only expression that we'll see of him is this one with his mouth opening. Now let's take a look at all the accessories. First, let's start with Burter over here. He does have an extra head with a different expression. So this one included in the box, we have him smiling and also wearing the scouter. In terms of his second head, we do have a different expression with his mouth open. You can see the sharp teeth and also the inside of the mouth nicely painted. Sadly though, like other Ginyu Force members beside the Frieza pod set for S.H.Figuarts, Burter over here must wear the scouter, because if he doesn't, we'll have this ugly plug looking at the side of the head for both of his heads. Moving on to the hand accessory now, we have two closed fists attached to the figure straight out of the box. Next, we have a pair of karate chopping hands. As for the third pair, they're also karate looking like chopping hands, except if you guys look closely, there's more of a curve to them. This set is more for doing his Wakyu Ginyu Force poses. As for the last set of hands for Burter over here, we have open palms or ki blasting palms, whatever you want to call them. Moving on, we have Guldo as an accessory or a separate figure, whatever you want to call him, or a bigger accessory. The reason I'm showing him here is that he actually does come with 2 extra arms to do his Ginyu Force pose, which I can show you guys. They look like this and this over here. After putting them on, we do have his signature Ginyu Force pose, which looks pretty wacky over here, but again, there's no articulation, so that part is a bit disappointing. As for the final accessory, we do have a Namekian Dragon Ball done in clear orange, which looks very nice. Over here, it is the 6-star Dragon Ball. Now let's go over the articulation segment. For Burter over here, we have the 360 rotation for the head. It is double ball jointed for the neck, so you can move the bottom as well. He can look all the way up, all the way down. Shoulder armors, they go all the way up like that and then down. There's no side to side for the shoulder armor, so they only go up like that. As for the arms, they go all the way up, rotate 360. We do have a bicep swivel, a good bend at the elbow. As for the wrist, we do have a little bit of a wiggle room, as well as the typical rotation. We do have a butterfly joint over here, just like that, but here, once you rotate it all the way outwards, we do see an ugly hollow part. Moving on to the waist section, we do have a rotation here, a bend, which is pretty nice, bending backwards. The lower waist does rotate as well, and can rotate a little bit. As for the lower body, his leg kicks all the way up, sideways. That's very nice. He can do the splits and thigh rotation. Of course, the knee bend, as well as the ankle rotation and a toe pivot. Overall, pretty standard from the new S.H.Figuarts. As for our Guldo over here, the only articulation he has is the head articulation. It can sort of wiggle around, rotate 360. As you guys see, it's just a simple ball joint. Other than that, his arms, although we can swap them out for the other pose, they have no articulation. The armor has no articulation, the feet and the waist as well. Now let's do some size comparisons. So here we have a S.H.Figuarts Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Burter is quite a tall figure, as seen over here, and Guldo over here seems to be at around the lower chest area of our standard Goku S.H.Figuarts. Next, we have the S.H.Figuarts Ginyu Force Recom. They look around the same height, but Burter is supposed to be taller, and over here, I guess it works, but he could have been a little bit taller in my opinion. Here we have Captain Ginyu, which in my opinion looks much better height-wise in comparison to Burter. Now here's a very interesting size comparison. We have the demonical fit Guldo with the S.H.Figuarts Guldo, if you're willing to call it S.H.Figuarts without its articulation. It seems like the paint job on the S.H.Figuarts is still better with that dark green, which looks much more realistic compared to the light lime green of the demonical fit. Also, the head is significantly bigger than the demonic fit one, which is more show accurate, I assume. But other than that, for the demonic fit one, it does have much more articulation compared to Guldo. So in this case, when I have the S.H.Figuarts Guldo, I kind of want to still keep the demonical fit one just in case I wanted to do a bit more posing. Alright, final thoughts on today's S.H.Figuarts review, which is the Burter and Guldo. Overall, I do like it when S.H.Figuarts release characters that are not the main characters, such as Goku and Vegeta. So it's very nice of them to give us all of the Ginyu Force, and with this set, we do have a complete S.H.Figuarts Ginyu Force to display. Although Guldo over here, in terms of negative, is he has no articulation, I mean, at least he can still stand there. I guess they just don't want to stand up. Even he is embarrassed to see you guys without articulation. Other than that, the positives for this set definitely is that we do have 2 figure in 1, or 1.5 figure in 1 if you want to say that Guldo doesn't have articulation. Although it is noticeable that we have less accessories compared to the other Ginyu Force members for each individual member, as we have 2 over here in this set. Would I recommend this set? It really depends on your own personal preference and collection for this one. If you have no members of the Ginyu Force, I would say you can skip this one. But if you want to complete it, then obviously you're gonna grab this one. If you were to only choose one of the Ginyu Force to collect for S.H.Figuarts, I would recommend the Ginyu Captain himself and not Burter and Guldo over here, because Ginyu is much more iconic. Anyways, there goes the end of today's review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please remember to support the channel by liking, subscribing, turn on that bell notification. As always, my friends, remember to stay young at heart, and we're out.
Upside down. Had a flame.
That are not the main characters. Well, look at there, Guldo already fell. He doesn't really want to see you guys. So does Burter.
We got lost in my own